another deputy,
Very good.
and we'll add a 10th position to the sheriff's office, would be the last thing I would do. And then that 10th position would likely, the undersheriff and I have been talking about it for a long time, is we would likely start a new deputy I actually had a deputy call me yesterday from Mount City. They want to come over here. And I'm like, well, I'd love to hire you, but I'm full staff. And yeah, they were inquiring because evidently her husband has got a job over here and they want to be both full-time employed. So, but with the 85% for the school, that revenue, my idea on it too is it's going to be just 85% of his benefits and salary, not the car, not the fuel, not the training, you know, those type of things. That would be, the sheriff's office would come up with the funding from that. Of course, it won't be my problem, but it'll be somebody's problem to figure out how that works. The other, I guess it's one other thing, and I'm waiting to see, we haven't finalized the budget, correct?
Yeah, we have.
Is it?
Yeah, it's adopted, it's
Yeah.
to the state and everything.
It's
Okay.
percent off.
Has it? 'Cause I haven't seen my,
She apparently she emailed everybody out their budget.
I thought she did, yeah.
okay, maybe I'll have to go back and look.
And then I'm preparing our discussion to let you know, here it is.
Like I said, I don't know that I have it in me to fight that battle.
Well, it's not a fight, I think it's more of just, understanding that, you know, you have the resources, the cash and everything that you should. She thought you had. And we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, I just so tired of it, so, but where we're at, and it's coming to a head, and I wanna see, have we moved money into my capital improvement and all that money, so everything's where it's supposed to be?
Yep.
I haven't seen that. I'll go talk to Darcy.
Well, there's 3 things you need to see. You need to see your budget, you need to see your cash, and you need to see your estimated revenue. And you need to see that all at the point that it fed this year's budget.
So anyhow, let's see. The reason I say that is that, as I told you, WatchGuard was bought by Motorola. WatchGuard is our in-car cameras. WatchGuard is defunct. Motorola is refused, will not support it, and they're forcing you to go to the Motorola camera system. And we have 2 patrol vehicles that basically we're gonna have to decide if we're gonna buy Motorola cameras, but if we're gonna do it, we're gonna have to do it for every car. And right now, evidently Motorola is having some sympathy on those of us that have brand new WatchGuard cameras or fairly brand new WatchGuard cameras that were bought 2 years ago. They're gonna give us credit on some of those.
Really?
Well, they'll give us some kind of credit for them.
Trade-ins, huh?
Trade-ins or whatever, but it's looking like $115,000 to outfit all the patrol vehicles with cameras. And that's, it frustrates the hell out of me that
It is a big scam.
it's a scam. It's a scam.
You said 115?
It's a business.
Yeah, give or take, that's a ballpark figure.
Whatever the market will bear, you know.
Well, no, it's not even that, it's not what Marco Bear, it's what they're forcing,
Well, they're doing it because they can, because there's no options.
there's no option.
So that's the market, I mean, but they're finding out that people can't pay it, so they're saying, well, maybe we need to give them some credit.
That's it, and you're exactly right, they dialed that back because
Yeah.
a lot of these agents, how the hell
They say, we
we,
just won't do it.
Well, then
You
you,
gotta do it.
well, and then, and that's gonna be, I'm gonna say that, you're asking for a lawsuit not having in-car cameras. It's I can hear the attorney, I wish he was sitting here right now. It's technology that's readily available, and you don't have it, and so you couldn't see all the stuff your deputy did to me as he beat the shit out of me behind your car.
Yeah, you're doing that on purpose.
Yeah, you're doing it on purpose, hiding, and I mean, it didn't happen, but it's gonna be the allegation. And today's public with the CSI effect, because everybody that has watched CSI 3 times are now forensic scientist experts and subject matter experts, and so they know that we can get fingerprints off a rock from the frickin' space station.
Which we've done.
Well, you just focus the camera really close to the rock, and then you take a very nice,
Remote sensing.
there it is. And you think I'm kidding?
Then you add AI to that, Sean, and it'll solve the crime.
There it is, you know.
Writing that one down too.
You know, I've got NSA on there.
I got a bingo card of what we're talking about.
Now, you're not-
CSI.
Normal
supposed-
lights are subjects that we do.
I love the subjects we talk about.
Oh
Right.
Lord, so anyhow, so I gotta look at those numbers and see where we're at, because I have to make a decision.
Well, you know you have the cash, but it just depends on whether you have any options there.
Are you still interested in doing that evidence farm?
What's that?
The evidence building? Are you still interested in that?
Well, that's a different fund, and that's another thing. So, we're looking, and I keep hedging on things, and I do, because as that building that we use for the jail is a very, very old facility. We do a very good job with it. We do things a little bit differently than other jails do, but it has worked for us.
I think it's a nice place, actually. Gosh, I toured it.
I kinda wanted to break the law to get thrown
Shit,
in.
we.
Get some of those TV dinners.
Well, there you go. But there are many standards there that are,
Historical place, you should apply.
yeah, that's it. Well,
There's some
Or
standards.
1911.
It doesn't meet,
I know.
it doesn't
We've
meet
held
Curtis
prisoners there
standards.
since
There's no
May
doubt
of
about that.
1911.
Still.
Should have a historical plaque, you should get a grant as a
yeah,
historical.
I don't want my jail to have a historical plaque in front of it. It'll be like, what? The ACLU will just take a picture of that and be like, close it. So I hedge on putting money into that building because I'm worried that it's gonna get closed. I mean, and it's not if, it's just when, and I don't know when that when is. So you start, do you ante up this much money? Or do you just stay the course? So with the new water that we have, the Utica water, it's palatable, it's drinkable, I've drank it, didn't have any too adverse effects from it.
Too bad for us.
It's,
Wonderful,
it's
it's wonderful.
it's wonderful. We have been buying, since I was here, every month we spend $170, $180 on Culligan water. So, Culligan could hypothetically put in, for about $15,000 would be the total cost of it. Drinking fountains or water dispensaries. It would be a hot water dispensary, a cold water dispensary in the men's cell and the women's cell. And then they would put a dispensary out in the common areas for the communications officers and the deputies and the sheriff. And like I said, that's what that is I think it's $256 a month for 5 years. It's a 5-year contract, $256 a month. That includes the installation and the buying of the water fountains and everything to the tune of $15,000, give or take.
At the end of 5 years.
At the end of 5 years,
Good.
which I don't know if it's smarter to pay the $15,000 up front and say,
Okay.
and that includes a yearly service of the water fountains. But,
That doesn't sound like a bad deal to me.
well, yes, but what happens if the jail closes in a year?
Yeah, but we've examined the threat there, okay? We've said, what is it that would shut that jail down? And we said, well, the main thing is
No yard.
no yard, which we could probably solve that. And the other is that you have to administratively separate prisoners, and you have your bad offenders
Right.
and you have
There's no
men.
segregation.
Yeah, and so, but on the flip side, it's like, well, that could shut you down if they got you in their radar screen, but then they'd be shutting down all kinds of jails across here.
Out there.
And so I think the current risk of you being shut down is low.
I don't know, when you look at that Carbon County's been shut down, Stillwater County's been shut down, Sweetgrass County's been shut down, Madison County's been shut down. Boulder, I think, has a jail, but I'm not for
For
sure.
what reasons?
These reasons, old jails. Old.
Did you say that you paid $175 a month on the water?
Yeah, it ebbs and flows depending.
So that would be 7 years to get an ROI, 7.14 years, if it costs $15,000
Right.
and $2,100 a
So-
year. So do you think
Here's the
after,
problem though, I'm wondering what your water bill's gonna be from the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah?
Cause I don't know if you got
What
a
if
1 inch,
you-
I don't know what size service you got, but it could be a shocker.
And you said fountains for the prisoners? What are they gonna do to that?
Well, I was thinking,
But that's
could
one
they
of-
destroy it, cause I know they
Yeah,
have
destroy
some
it.
vandal proof or whatever.
Well, and this is, again, we have a pretty interesting jail. I don't think you've ever come.
I've
in.
never come into the jail.
Okay.
Well, you're about to find out.
Yeah. They
You
can,
keep printing like you're
He's
printing.
making note,
Um,
she's gonna go there soon. Trouble.
we have things in the jails that most jails would not even dream of doing. We have a hot water, like a freestanding water dispensaries machine. It's a freestanding machine. It's not anchored to the floor. It's got hot water, cold water
Okay.
dispensary. They put the jugs on top of it.
Right, right.
In most jails, those things would get demolished in 35
They get
seconds or
destroyed.
less.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Those
And
things-
somebody gets sued, somebody get hurt doing it.
Yeah, in 30, or in, I don't know how many years we've been putting the machine, but 10 years, 12 years we've had the
Nobody's
machine.
bothering it?
Not
Really?
once, never,
Really?
no. We had an inmate here by himself have a little thermonuclear meltdown and he tore a phone off the wall. But that was, and then some years ago, I had a female in the women's cell go psychotic and she destroyed the woman's cell. She tore stuff off the walls, she did everything. She broke the toilet, she used the lid, yeah, those type of things. And so anyhow, but for the most part, we don't have those problems, so. But yes, there is a percentage of threat there that can be, and that's one of the things we have not had answered yet. If somebody destroys it, who
Yeah.
gets to buy the new one, and probably us. So there's part of me that just wants to stay the course, keep getting the water, because if we get shut down, we can just say, well, that's it. We don't have the investment, but part of me is also,
If you get shut down, then what?
what's that? If we get shut down, then what? We start housing prisoners at other jails at $100 a day.
Good.
Yeah.
Or,
Or more.
Wherever.
How much do you
what
house
other
them for?
jails
How
are
much is
there?
your jail?
Everybody's getting
How
shut
much,
down.
what's your per day cost?
way less than that. In meals and everything, each prisoner is probably something around $20 a day in meals.
Yeah.
And then the water, all those pecuniary things that are hard to put a number to. But I would suspect that we're probably holding prisoners for less than $50 a day. I mean, when you add the salary of the detention officer and the propane to keep it hot, or or the cooling, and
Is there any way to meet the standards so you don't get shut down?
it's pretty tough to
Yeah, I
put a
think-
ribbon on the sails here.
I think what I'm hearing is, if they put you on your hit list,
You're done.
you're done.
Other than
And-
building a new jail?
Yeah, but I do think we need to assess that threat level, but then you say, well, how can we mitigate that? Well, it sounds like there is no mitigation,
You-
other than maybe putting a yard in, but they could still shut you down.
They can still shut you down. Yeah, because to go out to the yard, you're gonna have to go down the stairs and out thing. I mean, it's
ADA compliant.
ADA compliant, it
So
is not.
these other places they shut down, were they small, like,
Oh, yeah.
and so then what were their options? What do they do now?
Send them somewhere else.
They send them to
So it
the
costs
county.
more money.
Oh, a lot more money.
So if we were sending our prisoners somewhere else, we'd have to pay so much a month.
Right, but
Day, $100 a day.
$100 a day. So, the fact of the matter is,
And those places are probably at capacity already.
oh, they are. Yeah, so you don't always, are not always able
This
to
is a
find a
state
vet.
issue. This is a
Right.
state issue.
Right, it's, the whole thing's screwed up. So that's why we have court compliance downstairs.
Yeah.
She's always been the ace in the hole. When it was Charlie, now that it's Donna, she's the ace in the hole. Fact of the matter is that there are options of house arrest, ankle bracelet monitoring,
Mm-hmm.
other ideas, now some people have to be incarcerated. I mean, there's no, but other individuals potentially could be not, they could be housed somewhere. Or, other options, there's other avenues to keep a thumb on them and keep a track of them, but there are some people that absolutely positively have to be.
And there's the train station.
That's right.
Well, believe me, if I could tell about things I know, we could use the train station quite regularly. In fact, screw it, I'm just gonna go get an excavator and start digging holes. Taken.
Keep in mind, we're being recorded.
Yeah, I know we are. You can quote me on that too. I tell you, there are just some people that, I know, fidgety, but, yeah, there are some people that are, if you even knew. So,
Oh, I know, I mean, you guys are frontline stuff that we can't unsee.
Flathead County built a new jail 2 years ago for $180 million.
well, and this is, I think I've expounded on this previously, and I'm gonna say it again. In 2011, Sheriff Weitzel, Commissioner Adolph, County Attorney Sipe, and myself went to Aurora, Colorado
So, yeah.
for the National Institution of Corrections on a seminar on how to build a new facility about. And ultimately, I still have the thumb drive, I can give it to you, we can sit down and look at it, it's probably antiquated quite a bit, because that was 14 years ago. But the fact of the matter is, when you get to the brass tacks of it, we could build a jail, we could go out for a bond
Sure.
and beat the taxpayer over the head long enough, sooner than they're gonna go, all right, we'll pay for it. Can't staff it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the excellent point. Didn't Red Lodge try that? They
Yeah.
thought, well, we can get enough people that
Right.
commit to it, it'll pencil out.
And that's my next.
But if there's not the people, I'm struggling, I don't understand. If there's not the prisoners there, wouldn't you only have to staff for what you have, as far as, prisoners there?
No, so,
You gotta have 24-hour medical.
and 24 hours direct
And we're talking
supervision.
about full-time employees.
Right,
You know,
we're,
Well, isn't that
we're,
what you already have that?
we don't have full-time detention officers.
well, your
you
point's
would-
taken.
You
How
would
much
need
more
a
would you have?
minimum of 8 full-time detention officers and actually
For like 4 people or 5 people?
Yes.
You need 8
For
people
whatever's
watching
in the
5
jail.
people.
24 hours a day.
How come you, my
No.
question is, I'm
No,
struggling
no.
to understand why you don't have to meet
Okay.
those qualifications
So
now.
you got, let's say they each do 8-hour shifts, right?
38-hour shifts, yeah.
It doesn't even work on that because you got Friday and Saturday you gotta cover too.
Right.
But that means you have to have one person every 8 hours. That's
How are you
3 a
not,
day.
how come you don't have to do that now with your current jail?
Because we're grandfather claused in with the camera systems.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
they changed
second-
the
The second
rules.
we build a new facility,
New regulations.
we must meet every current standard.
Yeah, which
What
is,
standards don't you meet?
We do not have direct supervision. And direct supervision is me watching you. Me watching you. Oh, by the way, you're a female. I can't watch you because I'm a male. So I have to have female officers watching females. You know, it becomes
Well, it's
cataclysmic.
the operational costs that is.
You have to have the kitchen, you have to have the food staff, you have to have the calorie staff. It becomes
It's
unsa-
expensive, but if you're a huge county with great revenue,
right,
you know, it can be done, but like for us,
right.
So if you get shut down, there
Economies of
is no
scale.
option other than the $100 a day.
What's that?
If you get shut down, there's really no option other than the $100 a day.
Pretty much $100 a day.
and
Yeah.
actually, we get money when he brings people in from elsewhere, we get
Right.
paid.
Yep. Yeah, or we hold
Which
for
I've encouraged
DOC.
that.
We get 81 something, I think it's 81.50 or something now, for holding DOC prisoners. So we make revenue occasionally, but those are some of the things I have done. Like, we used to hold ICE prisoners. Immigration people that are getting deported, we do not anymore at all
Why's that?
because of the exposure to a lawsuit. Trying to mitigate the exposure to a minimum.
I got you, you start holding ICE people, now you are gonna attract that.
Absolutely.
They're gonna say, we're gonna shut this deal down.
Right.
Why? Because they're holding.
Right, so the only comfort that I do have currently is Mr. Couch. Mr. Couch, Ryan Couch is my detention officer. Mr. Couch was a 24-year detention officer in corrections in California. He took, and at the end of his career, he was one of the detention officers that went with all the lawyers to the agency, the facilities that were getting sued, and he was pointing out why you're getting sued. And he has flat told me that you have a really good jail. This jail, there are no real reasons this jail should have any problems. The way we're running. But we make smart decisions. If we have a dangerous prisoner, we do not house him here.
Yes,
We-
that's administrative, you know.
That's the administrative, but that comes from having a sheriff and undersheriff and deputies with some good common sense that go, oh, we know that guy and he's a bad dude. He's gonna hurt somebody. Because most of the people that are in my facility aren't dangerous. They're stupid, but they're not dangerous. I mean, there's a whole,
There's a difference, yeah.
there's a big difference there, where you have a guy, literally, over the years, we've housed some of them that would shove a pencil in your ear just because he could.
Yeah, you know, we worked on, I worked for Jacobs and they built prisons and they would talk about what goes into this design and some of the IQs of these criminal minds.
Oh, yeah,
Are beyond your comprehension of what they can think. And they even play psychological games, you know. And you don't see it, but they so everything's vandal proof, everything's epoxy,
and
everything.
it's amazing. I mean, a sheetrock screw that's sunk into a piece of wood, can you imagine getting that out of there without a screwdriver?
Oh, yeah, they could do it.
They can do it. It's nuts. But they have hours, and that's all they do is sit there and mess with it. They don't have a better way of doing it, but you and I and the other, those things always get stripped out and freaking.
That's scary. After them giving that talk, it scared me. And you know, the way that they can affect the staff.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little bit,
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I do not believe that a detention facility, a new detention facility, and especially after Carbon County did
Yeah,
theirs.
they abandoned
They
that.
tried.
Well, they tried.
Did they get approval for that?
No.
It went
Well,
down,
like,
Josh McCollum is the sheriff over there. I know Josh. Josh did a very thoughtful job on it. He had a beautiful design. It was in a good location. Everything was it. And so when he was getting ready, I'm thinking, I looked at some of the stuff and I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna have to go to the taxpayers a couple times, but they're gonna go for this. He's gonna go down like 47-53, something like that, you know? Went down 60-40. 60 against. You're not.
well, you know what I'm thinking? My head is just doing this whole thing. You guys in a co-op, like we use Central Montana Health District for the sewer. And what if there's like 6 counties in the same situation? You
This-
build one jail, you
yeah.
get staff in,
Boom.
everybody goes in.
that's what we tried to do.
Exactly.
That's what Carbon County was trying to do.
Well,
That's what they should do.
Right.
You should go call
But-
that guy and get on board before you get shut down.
taken,
Well, I-
that is where I have said and preached this before and said it in
Yeah.
front of you, that the state of Montana has to revert to regional jails. It's the only optional.
This is a state issue, because they got the money, nobody
Yeah.
else does.
Right,
What if you and the Carbon County guy go to the state and you guys like lobby for this?
But, okay, hold on for a second. Okay, and now, just watch this face right here. You're a taxpayer right now, and you pay taxes to Muscle Shell County.
Correct.
I'm gonna take your Muscle Shell County taxpayers, and I'm gonna build infrastructure in another county and employ people in another county. How do you feel about that?
I would question that.
Really?
Wait a hot second here. Did you just say my position that is not how it should go? If equal counties are contributing equally to the project, equal county gets
Yeah,
equal
I think that
benefit.
was a leading question.
That was leading, because this is what I would say. I would say, why can't we employ Muscle Shell County employees? And the answer is
Okay,
we
so
can.
we're gonna build a jail in Carbon County, and they're gonna drive from here to Carbon County?
There is a way to figure this out, whether that's,
Right now-
people figure it out on the oil field all the
Right
time.
now, we're
There is a
taking
way to have a,
Why can't it be more central to Muscle Shell County? Why couldn't we build it
Yeah.
in?
And shoot up the base.
I would rather not have the prisoners here, so I would rather pay like a
Yeah,
house
see?
fee,
Now,
have
oh,
them.
you know, that's a Joliet said, they didn't want the jail in Joliet.
We can have a
It-
jail
it
right
could
down
be-
there at the county line, or pretty close.
Yeah? Yeah?
Share it with Yellowstone
I
County.
am very interested in what you're gonna say.
Well, because
Tired of all my money going to Yellowstone.
the prison, that has its own industry. It brings attorneys, it brings
True.
probation officers, it brings counselors. So there's jobs and.
It's
you
true.
know,
And somebody's
but-
gotta cook the meals, and someone's gotta,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what, this isn't a terrible
The,
idea.
the problem, it is a terrible idea.
It's not.
The problem with it is also, and you can call down to Yellowstone County YCDF right now, I think they're staffed for 70 some officers, they've got 40.
Where are the rest of them?
Yeah.
They can't hire.
There's no
people to do it.
resource pool.
Everybody's going
Well, there is.
to another entity.
Everybody's willing to do something. Have you ever seen, okay, you know what a
Gary
grease
Lynn,
trap smells
no,
like?
I want you to knock
There's a
yourself
reason
out.
they
I
get
want you
paid
to
so much.
call every detention facility in the state of Montana besides ours and see if they're not hurting for detention officers. There's not a single detention officer.
Make it
Cascade,
more attractive
I
to do
wonder
the
why.
job.
Yeah, but see, it costs more
Somebody's
money.
paying $50,000.
But I like your attitude. There's a can be done attitude.
There
but
is.
The real
It
answer
can
is,
be.
it's gotta be done through the state because they have the resources.
and it's,
Well, what if you led that and you actually fix the problem on a state level? Do you see the
So-
opportunity here?
Yes.
Mr. Adolph,
For
Mr.
you,
Adolph.
obviously,
so
I don't know anything about it. You fix
I've
it.
had this conversation with many commissioners and staff over the years. And it started back because after we did the 11, and I went, oh, we can't staff it. We'll never be able to staff that. We'll never be able to pay for employees. You can't. It's like a $500,000
Budget.
Well, as
budget.
long as there's prisoners, that problem has to be solved, so
But-
there just has to be a solution.
So here's the
Sit in
thing.
your room
So
until you figure it
I
out.
started talking about regional jails in the state of Montana. And Mr. Brian Adolph, you can ask him, he put me in my place. He says, well, you're not the first one to come up with that idea. Bill Slaughter used to be the sheriff of Gallatin County. Bill Slaughter was then, he had Mark Roscoe's ear. Mark Roscoe became the governor. He was the AG and then became the governor, as we all know. And he had moved Mr. Slaughter into the Department of Corrections. And so Bill Slaughter probably had more political capital than any sheriff in the state of Montana by quite a bit. Bill started selecting that, or suggesting that, it got shot down.
Well, think about it. If you're the state, if you're the governor, you don't want to spend your money on that.
No.
But it is, in my mind, it is the only answer.
Well, it is, and there's no other answer. And the fact of the matter is that, and I talked about this last week, how the state has continually keeps directing it back to the counties on data input and this jail, or this death thing, we'll see where that thing leads to, but yeah, they keep moving duties and jobs to counties.
Well, and if you think about the alternative though, if you, they have this criteria, you have to meet the criteria. You're saying that there's a problem with detention officers, there's all these problems surrounding it, but if your jail gets shut down,